With the recent return of Liv Morgan at Survivor Series, today's video is going to be the top returns of 2025. Now, despite 2025 being an absolute mess when it came to the start of the year, and WWE going over to Netflix and potentially making great storylines that developed into absolutely nothing following WrestleMania, we had a pretty good year when it did come to WWE returns. And they did start on January 6th on Netflix. The big surprise of Undertaker returning to congratulate Rhea Ripley after her world title defense. And then we also had The Rock showing up to really kick off Netflix and then get into a storyline to absolutely lead to nothing with Travis Scott and John Cena's heel turn. Talk about great booking by Dwayne. Come on, Dwayne, if you're going to do something, at least commit to it. Show up to work, my friend. But overall, WWE had some major returns in 2025. We had returns from injuries. Wrestlers that went off to do things in other companies came back where they rightfully belonged, like Rusev and Aleister Black, both returning in April on April 21st version of Raw, and then April 25th version of SmackDown for Aleister Black. Both of these have kind of led to mid-tier runs for 2025, but I can definitely see both of these guys having major 2026s in the mid-card. Aleister Black has had a phenomenal feud against Damian Priest since his return, and now teaming up with his wife Zelina Vega. I can see this duo really raining havoc over on the Blue brand for 2026. Charlotte Flair returning at the Royal Rumble after almost a year out on the shelf with that damaged knee, and she returned, and it was nice to see her get a new look on life when it comes to her character in WWE. And honestly, this is some of the most fun I have seen Charlotte have, and it's the most over I have seen her with the crowd in a long time. The tag team run she was able to have with Alexa Bliss, who we will talk about in a moment, was phenomenal, and she was able to feed off of Alexa Bliss and really show a different side of Charlotte that not many of us have seen, and I think we can all agree we've thoroughly enjoyed what Charlotte's been able to do. But let's be real, the queen doesn't stay off her throne for long. We got to get her back in some form of a title picture in a singles run, maybe when they break off in 2026, her and Alexa Bliss. Now that they've dropped the tag titles, I like to see where this is going. Roman Reigns this year has returned to WWE more times than Charlie Sheen has been to rehab. We are at an unlimited amount of Roman Reigns returns. Now, granted, the aura the tribal chief brings is untouchable when it comes to his returns, and when those drums hit, people just lose their mind. It's a modern day glass smash, like Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out to kick some ass on Vince McMahon. So it's really great to see Roman return, but it doesn't have to always be Roman Reigns returns on Raw next week. Roman Reigns has been gone for 2 weeks, but guess what? The tribal chief is returning. Like, come on, we can make our own video about Roman Reigns returning. Speaking of someone I mentioned, Stone Cold Steve Austin returning at WrestleMania to announce just the crowd attendance, but it wasn't what happened with Austin in the ring. It was him getting to the ring on his signature ATV. First off, he missed the ramp to get onto the stage, and then he crashes into the barricade with a fan doing the most dramatic flop that Ronaldo and Neymar would be proud of on a soccer field. This was one of the worst bumps I have ever seen in professional wrestling, and it came from a fan. I really hope that fan is banned for life, because it was literally trying to get a money grab, understanding what happened and taking it way too far. Even Nick Khan had to come out of the crowd to check on this fan. But with the other returns that we had this year, Jade Cargill and Becky Lynch, Jade at the Chamber, which led to arguably one of Becky Lynch's best heel runs that we have seen from her, and a dominant 2025, and some of Becky's overall best work in the ring and on the mic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had another massive return at the Elimination Chamber, which was Randy Orton coming back and attacking Kevin Owens in such a violent manner.
The WWE's Apex Predator!
There was so much potential with this version of Randy coming back that we could have had a rejuvenated 09 Randy Orton in this big beefy 290-pound version that we have now at the near end of his career. WWE has majorly missed out on potential with this type of character for Randy Orton, because the return had so much potential to be something so much bigger, and they completely missed out on it. So hopefully they can book something more for Randy Orton in the near future. But man, was this one of the biggest drop balls in WWE's this year, because Randy could have done something special. Speaking of things that were done special, with the John Cena farewell tour, we had two major returns that I don't think many people in the start of 2025 would have had it on their bingo card. Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, returned later this year.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it. All right!
And we had Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler.
No way! Zigman! You having flashbacks, Wade? Ziggler!
Both return to get involved in the John Cena Farewell Tournament Tour. And obviously, both of them came up short in their matches, but the pops that these two got has to label them as two of the top returns of 2025. I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that WWE really reached into this TNA partnership and were able to bring in basically two contracted wrestlers not under a WWE banner or umbrella to come in and wrestle a match. This is definitely the new era of WWE, with them taking chances on guys that are working for other companies. Think about it. Matt Cardona in the last 2 months has been TNA, NXT, GCW, ROH, HOG, and probably more promotions that I'm probably missing. But to have him on WWE television as Zack Ryder, that was the unfortunate part about it. I would have preferred him to come out as Matt Cardona, and I think the rest of the IWC would have preferred it as well. But overall, these were two awesome returns, and I really hope WWE is able to do more with this in the future. How could I forget the return of Brock Lesnar, which led to a horrible match with John Cena and didn't really put any stock in the John Cena farewell tour. 6 minutes of just getting violated by Brock Lesnar is probably nothing anyone wants on their best day, and John Cena just basically took it, and we can forget that ever happened. Now into some of my favorite returns of this year, probably my top 3. I'm gonna go with the most recent return with Liv Morgan. I didn't like that it was so pro Dominic Mysterio, because they kept building up all year that Liv's still watching over the Judgment Day and Roxanne's gonna get involved. You never know what's gonna happen in the coming weeks on Monday Night Raw, and see what Liv Morgan's attitude towards Roxanne is. But overall, to give her such a moment against John Cena in his final PLE match, I thought that was something special, and it definitely gave that kind of Eddie Guerrero vibe for Dominic Mysterio, going out and pulling out everything to get the W and screw over the quote-unquote greatest of all time. One of the other best returns, and this I truly believe was fan orchestrated, was the return of R-Truth at Money in the Bank.
Oh my God! Oh my God! R-Truth is here!
The We Want Truth movement was real, and WWE listened. It was us that brought R-Truth back to the centerfold, and unfortunately they still haven't done much with him, especially with him cutting his hair and calling himself Ron Killings and saying like he's driving now, and he really hasn't been able to do much from this. But it's still great seeing R-Truth on WWE television at least once a week, even if he's just harassing Nick Aldis with his balls. I really love that WWE was able to put this all together and keep R-Truth just for the fans' sake. They're probably paying him an absolute bag just to be that comedic relief. But in WWE, with all these serious storylines that we see day in and day out, having Truth on WWE television is honestly one of the best moments of every week. And for someone who watches WWE and posts clips every week, the Truth clips still get some of the most views out of all of them. So having R-Truth come back and that return at Money in the Bank was phenomenal. I loved it. And that leads us into my favorite return of the year. And this could be a very unpopular opinion to some, but I'm going to go with it because it's how WWE manipulated the storyline and the dirt sheets and social media to make us all think it wasn't happening. And that is the return at the Royal Rumble of Alexa Bliss. Yes, we had many other great returns this year, but it was the manipulation factor of what WWE did through the dirt sheets, through social media, through tweets, and even Alexa herself making it seem like she was under weird contract negotiations. People were saying she's not coming back. She's got months and months to go. This was one of the most speculated things, literally 2 days going into the Royal Rumble, and to keep her so late on her entrance. I think she was 23 or 25 on that entrance portal, and her music hit. It was one of the loudest pops for the Royal Rumble and one of the loudest pops of the year when it came to returns. Alexa Bliss is arguably going to go down as one of the best female wrestlers to do it with this day and age, coming out of the Four Horsewomen's and the Women's Evolution, because you can tell she's a superstar. Every time her music hits, it's something special. And obviously coming back with the Friends Forever, the Fiend Forever jacket to pay tribute and homage to the late great Bray Wyatt, I absolutely loved it. I think it was one of the best returns of the year. You guys can come at me in the comments, but we are doing a video a day all of December to celebrate the best of 2025. So down in the comments, guys, do me a favor and let me know what you guys think was the best return of the year and what videos you'd like to see for the rest of the month. Anyways, guys, like always, be good people.